Spurs player does not want to leave in January despite lack of game time. Welcome back to Tottenham News Today channel. Before we dive into this update, be sure to press that subscribe button and keep up with all the latest news. Ange Postecoglou will want to keep his squad together for the 2024-25 season, so it comes as good news that one player has decided he wants to stay despite a lack of minutes on the pitch. The challenge of forcing himself into Tottenham's starting 11 over Cristian Romero and Mickey van der Ven was always going to prove an extremely difficult one for Radu Dragusin, who has had very few opportunities since his switch from Genoa in January. Even though Romero has been short of his best this season, it is unlikely that Ange Postecoglou would consider leaving out his vice-captain anytime soon. So far this campaign, Dragusin has started just one Premier League game, playing in Tottenham's 2, one loss to Newcastle at St James Park due to Van der Ven's injury absence. It has now been revealed by the Mirror that the 22-year-old is on the wish list of several Serie A clubs, including Napoli, ahead of the January transfer window. However, the outlet claims that the centre-back has no intention of leaving Spurs in January despite his lack of game time so far this season. It is asserted that the former Genoa man remains keen on showcasing his best in North London and strengthening his case for a starting berth. This update from the Mirror comes on the back of the comments made by the player's agent, Florian Manea, about his client's future last week. Manea also ruled out a January transfer for the centre-back, revealing that Dragusin is keen on fighting for his place at Tottenham and proving his worth. He told Sport P. "I don't think that Tottenham will part with Radu, even in the current situation, where he is not a starter. Apart from Romero and Van der Ven, they have no one at centre-half. I think that Radu will get more chances this year, and if he plays 20 to 25 matches this season, I'm satisfied. We even talked after that moment in the Europa League when he saw red. He told me, I'm learning, I'm putting it behind me and we're moving forward." I think that at this big level, the mentality is the most important. You have to fight and overcome the moments. In football, you live from one week to the next. Tottenham are at the front of the queue to sign a young English striker, who has made an impressive start to the Premier League season. The player in question is Liam Delap, who has scored 4 times in 8 league games for the newly promoted Ipswich Town this season. The 21-year-old came through Derby County's academy and spent 5 years at Manchester City, but only made a total of 6 appearances for Pep Guardiola's men. The centre-forward had a series of loan spells in the EFL over recent years before making a permanent move to Portman Road Stadium this summer. Delap appears to have come of age at Ipswich, and his performances in Suffolk have allegedly caught the attention of Spurs, who are now said to be keen to snap him up, according to Court Offside. Even though the 21-year-old is also on the radars of Arsenal, Newcastle and Aston Villa, it is Tottenham who are thought to be leading the race for his signature. The outlet adds that Ipswich are open to listening to offers for their starlet, despite signing him just a few months ago, with the striker expected to cost around £33 million. If Tottenham do bring in another centre-forward to compete with Dominic Solanke, one would assume that it would spell the end for Richarlison at Spurs. Ange Postecoglou might be frustrated by the Brazilian's inability to stay fit, and unless the former Everton man manages to prove his worth over the next couple of months, he might well be off in January. Tottenham fullback Pedro Porro has been among the thick of transfer speculations of late, with multiple reports linking the Spaniard with a move away from White Hart Lane. The former Sporting Lisbon defender has taken massive strides in his game since he moved away to North London, and has established himself as a key cog in Ange Postecoglou's side at Hotspur Way. Looking at his rise and impressive performances, which have lauded him as one of the best players in the league and Europe in his position, Real Madrid expressed interest in taking the 25-year-old to Santiago Bernabéu Stadium in 2025. Madrid are looking to replace Dani Carvajal following his season-long injury, and they have identified Liverpool defender Trent Alexander-Arnold as the first option to replace the veteran. However, Porro has been recognised as a close alternative. However, in a recent report by Football Insider, Spurs Premier League rivals Manchester City are also said to hold interest in the Spaniard's services as Pep Guardiola's side look to replace Kyle Walker, who took a very similar road, from Hotspur Way to Etihad Stadium. The report goes on to suggest that Daniel Levy has put a £80 million price tag on Porro as he looks to blow away potential suitors with a hefty valuation. Tottenham would be willing to keep hold of Porro unless a significant offer comes in. However, despite the speculations, the fullback has to keep his focus on the ongoing campaign at Hotspur Way. And as for Tottenham, they will look to keep hold of the player as Levy attains to maintain a strong squad despite the tempting offers that could come their way over the next 12 months. Would you sell Porro if an £80 million offer were to come in for his signatures? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Tottenham have just received a major boost in their reported pursuit of Bournemouth winger Antoine Semenyo. Semenyo has made an excellent start to the new campaign, having registered 4 goal contributions in 7 Premier League games so far this season. It was reported by TBR Football a couple of weeks ago that Tottenham are one of several sides who have expressed an interest in the 24-year-old. However, the outlet claimed that Bournemouth had no intention of losing the attacker and are expected to resist offers in January. Football Insider have now backed up Spurs' interest in Semenyo, while also revealing that the attacker is being watched by Newcastle and Arsenal. The outlet claims that the winger is keen to play at the top level amidst interest from the Lily-Whites and is open to a big move. It is suggested that the Ghana international wants to test himself in Europe and would thus be ready to follow Dominic Solanke from the Vitality Stadium to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Football Insider go on to say that Semenyo is flattered by the interest from Spurs and the other top 6 sides. It is alleged that even though the wide man's current deal at the South Coast club runs until 2029, his future is far from secure. The Cherries are said to be susceptible to losing their star man in January, should they receive a big offer, similar to the one they got for Solanke in the summer. As revealed by TBR, Tottenham have joined Arsenal in scouting Brighton midfielder Carlos Baleba. The 20-year-old joined Brighton from Lille in 2023, making an immediate impact with 37 appearances across all competitions in his debut season for the Seagulls. Now under new manager Fabian Hürzeler, Baleba's development is drawing the eyes of the Premier League's top teams. The 2 London clubs are not alone in their admiration, as Liverpool, Manchester City and Aston Villa have additionally been impressed with Baleba's start to the 24-25 campaign. It was difficult not to notice Carlos Baleba in Brighton's win against Tottenham. Tottenham lead the league in tackles made in their attacking third and midfield third. Spurs press high and hard. Baleba's skill and bravery to evade Tottenham's press was comparable to elite senior midfielders, let alone a 20-year-old in their second Premier League season. It is a trait which makes Bissouma indispensable to how Tottenham want to play. So it is easy to imagine how Baleba could fit into this Spurs team. With Bissouma and Bentancur, 28 and 27 respectively, both with contracts which expire in 2026, Tottenham will be looking for their long-term replacement. Archie Gray has been touted as a possible inheritor to that position, but generally profiles better as a box-to-box midfielder and has yet to make a senior appearance in midfield. Balaba could be a perfect addition to Tottenham's midfield, but Spurs will again need to act quickly to beat Europe's top teams to the punch. That's all for today's update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay in the loop with all things Tottenham, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications on our latest content. Don't forget to like this video and share it with fellow Spurs supporters. Let's grow our Tottenham news today. Community together. Thanks for watching, and as always, come on you Spurs.